Recording. Behave yourself out there.
All right.
You're on recording now. All right, so homework tonight, I am going to assign some IXL, IXL, S1 and S2. S1 and S2, that's some algebra review for you. Actually, it's around perimeter and area. So it says algebra review, but it's perimeter and area. And I've got written here 10/80 each. 10/80 each. That means 10 minutes or 4, you probably can't even see that, 4/80 each. So again, when we're working through IXL, we can take up to 10 minutes on S1, or if we hit that SMART score of 80 on S1, either one of those, you can stop. So if you get a score of 80 and you've only spent 5 minutes, you can stop. Or if you go for 10 minutes and you only have a 62, you can stop. Then you go to S2, and same thing. Either one of those will get you full credit, okay? Yes?
How are you grading it?
So what I do is IXL gives me a report to tell me what your score was and how many minutes you work. So I just look for either you got a score 80 or you worked 10 minutes and then you get full credit. Usually when we do homework, a homework is worth 2 points, a homework problem is worth 2 points, and I make IXLs, each one of those would be worth 3 points. So they're a little more heavily weighted than a homework problem because it's more effort on your part to actually do 10 minutes of this computer work. So you'll get the full 3 points if you do either 10 minutes or score 80. So you'll see that, I don't have it loaded in the assignment yet, but you'll see that in assignments in Canvas before the end of the day. Okay? Any questions on IXL? You all have your passwords and usernames, right? If you ever need your username or password, just text or email me because I have access to the roster. I can look up what your password is, even if you've changed it. So if you've gone in and changed it from what it originally was, I can still look up and see what you changed it to. So you're never locked out. I can look it up for you. All right, so today's objectives. Really, oh, 10 shows here. Oh my gosh, 10 show. Hi, yeah. Mrs. Edwards.
Hi, Mrs. Edwards.
And here's your A period class. Say hi to 10 show.
Hi.
They're all waving. 10 show, we're so glad you joined us. 10 show wasn't able to be here for most of the week, but he made it here today. We're so glad you're here.
Yes, because of the different time zone, so I can be here.
We're glad you're here. 10 show, I was just going through this board, and I know you can't see it really well. I'm going to post a picture out on Canvas. And also, I am recording this session, so you can watch the first part where I talked about the beginning, okay?
Okay.
I'm just in the middle here on today's objective. And when we, the teachers, started a couple of weeks ago, like, how are we gonna do everything we have to do this year with COVID and with distance learners and still try to teach everything we're supposed to teach and still be web, because we want to be web strong. We decided that our word this year was grace. Somebody tell me, what does grace mean? I mean, sometimes it's someone's name, but what does grace mean? Does anybody know? I mean, you could, there might be a lot of meanings. What do you think grace means? Beatrix? Yes, being understanding if something doesn't go exactly as planned. I think we're going to have a lot of things that don't go exactly as planned. Like on Monday, I forgot to press record on the Zoom meeting all day. I had Zoom meetings all day so people could attend, but I forgot to press record all day Monday. So anyone who didn't attend in person had to watch a Tuesday recording because, oops, I forgot. So they also had to wait till Tuesday came because there was no recording of Monday. So yes, anybody else have a definition of grace? No? I think of it as like forgiveness, right? Like if you do something, I won't say wrong, but just like you did something the wrong way, or you didn't do something, or maybe you didn't even think it was wrong, you just didn't understand. It's like when you get lost on campus and you're up by the student center and you suddenly realize you need to be in the big room and you're like, I am not gonna make it. And your teacher, you get there, you're out of breath, and it's raining, and you're soaked, and your hair is frizzy, and the teacher's like, come in, sit down. And you're thinking, I'm tardy, shouldn't I be in trouble? And the teacher says, no, come in, sit down. Or you can't get Zoom to work, and you're frantically trying to get in, and you don't think you have the right link, and you're trying to get a hold of the teacher, but the teacher can't hear you because she's teaching class, so why would she be looking at email? And then finally you get the link to work, but you're 10 minutes late, and she just says, hey, hi, glad you're here. Keeps moving, but I was late. That's grace. And so we're going to talk about a specific instance of grace in geometry today. We're going to talk about using data. So we're going to actually look at the getting to know you data. You guys created a data set when you answered those getting to know you questions in the Google form. You created data. And we're going to talk about the beginning of algebra review. So we do have to do algebra review. We are going to use some algebra in this class, and it's important, especially that you remember how to graph lines. So we are going to do some algebra review today and get that kicked off into next week when we do a lot of algebra review. So specifically the getting to know you quiz results and then the algebra review, we're going to work these in class 1.3, 1.9, and 2.5. Those are in your books, which if you wanted a paper copy book, I don't have those yet. So we'll all work with the online version of the book. I'll put it up here so we can see it. And you guys should have the link to the online book. Do you have that?
I don't have that.
I will
Can you send
send
email to me?
I did, yes. I will send it to you, Tensho.
Okay,
Wait,
thanks.
do we have it in maybe in our Canvas?
It is in the Canvas too. Yes, Andre.
So it's, problem book. Yeah.
Problem book. Yep, that's it. Yep. All right.
Where?
Can you get into Canvas, Tensho?
Yes, I was in the Canvas and I just don't know which part.
So if you click on the class geometry.
Yes.
And then in the home page, scroll down past the picture of web, and there are big buttons. One of them says problem book.
Okay, let me see.
I'm going to see if you can see anything on the board here. We might have to turn out the lights. I'm going to do a projection on the board of the data. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it or not. If you can't, I can pull it up I can zoom it in to the meeting, but we're going to see if you can see it on here. We might try the lights out.
Thanks, Joe. It looks like this. See it, problem book? Says problem book.
Oh, this is which parts?
You have to
We
press.
can find in the Canvas.
You go to the geometry, right? And then
Yes, I click the courses and then click the geometry.
and then you go
But I
down.
didn't find the
You go
problem.
down.
Okay, I go down.
and there should be like the red dot saying problem book.
Oh, I just need to click it. Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. So what should we do now?
Okay, I am trying to project. Let me see how it works. Oh yeah, we're just need to turn the lights out. Beatrix, can you hit the lights? Can you guys see that screen that I'm projecting?
No.
I see it.
It says getting to know you at the top.
Mm.
So overall, we have 75 students in our class. We got 68 responses. This wasn't optional, so that's unfortunate. We have 7 that didn't play. And so it's kind of neat. Google Forms does a breakdown for me on responses. So we got a pretty even response on what's your class period. That's because we have pretty even class periods. How many years have you attended the web school? We can see half, exactly half of people have attended the web school. You can see it says 50% have attended the web school 2 or 3 years. A third, 32.4, so a third would be 33%. So we've got almost a third of folks in this class. Overall, all of the classes, so I have 6 classes. Out of 68 people, almost a third, this is their first year at Web. That's like a lot. That is a lot of people. But this is their first year on campus. That's very exciting. Do you live on campus? 20% live on campus. 20%. Now, overall, I think it's about a third. About 33% of all students live on campus.
Is that just for this year?
Yes. So we're a little low on how many people live on campus, take geometry. That's probably because we have mostly 9th graders, and maybe there are more upperclassmen, or maybe I don't think there are more middle schoolers. I think there are more upperclassmen on campus. So here we go to my fun question. Do you like math? So the no, I love it turned out to 19%. So 20% would be 1/5, 1 out of 5. Almost 50%. Almost 50% say, it's not horrible, but gosh, I don't love it. 29%, so 20 people out of the 68 said, yeah, I don't really like it so much. And then we had 3 people believe it is the work of Satan. And that's okay. I want you to be honest. If you really hate math, you still have to pass the class to move on. And so I'm just going to help you get through it, right? Without throwing up every day. That's okay. Some people don't like math, right? So that's the reason I asked this next question. What's your goal for the class? I am so excited to see that 57.4% of you are going to ace this class. That's a whole lot of you who have confidence in getting an A in this class. And then another 33.8% saying you're going to get a B. That's a huge percent of you shooting for an A or B. I am excited about that because those are the people I'm going to challenge. I'm going to make you work for that A or B. Then we have other people that say, hey, I'm really working for a C here. Those are probably the people who think it's spawn of the devil. Or that just need to pass. Like, I just want to get through this class. And again, some people have trouble with math, can't understand math, or just hate math. And yeah, if you just want to get a C or a D, then that's what we can focus on. I'm not here to make your life horrible. when I ran through, obviously we have a lot of distance learners and most of them come from China. But of course in here, we have someone not from China. Andrea, remind me where you're from? Is it?
Ukraine.
Ukraine, yay. But we do have a lot of people who are from Tennessee, Alabama. We've got folks in my 6 classes again from Jamaica, well actually, still a lot from Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. You can see a lot of folks born and raised in Tennessee, China, but a lot right from Tennessee. Now I tried to do an analysis on oldest, middle, or youngest, but let me just say it's all. It's oldest, middle, youngest, and only, all over the place. A lot of you have big families. A lot of you are only children. Some of you have step siblings, half siblings. There are just a smattering of everybody. So you can probably find someone who matches your situation. We have someone who is the youngest by 20 years. His older siblings are 20 years older than him.
I'm the oldest by 14 years.
Yeah, sometimes there's a big gap. So favorite school subjects in general, I saw not math. A lot of English, not a lot of languages. It was mostly history and English, reading, some science. Hobbies, I saw a lot of sports. That's fun. Pets, usually dogs and cats, but we'll go into specifically in this class. We had some fun additions to dogs and cats. And then many people did not have a favorite TV show, which I thought everybody in this age watched TV, but you guys don't. You're probably watching YouTube or something, right? Not necessarily watching TV. But a lot of different, apparently Grey's Anatomy is big with your group. Yes, The Office is popular. There's Grey's. People watch that. Another Office. Friends, that's mine. Another Friends. Dukes of Hazzard. Couple of Hannah Montanas. And then what's the question you'd like to ask Mrs. Edwards? I actually answered all of those. And I answered them. If you go to Canvas and you go to discussions, I haven't asked me anything. And you can go into this discussion and you can ask me anything. Just hit reply and put in your question. But I answered all of these questions. Am I a laid back teacher? I am definitely more laid back this year. I can tell you that. My favorite animal is a cat. If I'm at the zoo, I like to watch the penguins. If I'm hunting, I kill groundhogs. They destroy farmers' crops. My favorite movie is The Princess Bride. I will quote it if you talk to me. On average, how much homework will I assign? Usually about 30 minutes a night. So if we're doing Excel, it's usually 2 Excels at 10 minutes each, and then I'll give you a problem or 2 out of the problem book. Is it possible to do geometry with Roman numerals? Yes, but that would take a long time. Is geometry hard? I think it can be hard for some people because it's a different kind of math. But if you find that it gets hard for you, then we just need to spend some time together so I can make it unhard. I believe that I can make math unhard for everybody. Maybe I'm just being silly and I can't. But until I run into someone that I can't help, I'm going to keep saying that. So I believe I can help everybody understand math. And I haven't found anyone yet that I can help. So come at me, bro. Did I want to be a teacher when I was in high school? Yes. This is my second year at Webb. My favorite color is purple. My favorite candy is Reese Cups, donations accepted. My favorite fruit is raspberries. I like to listen to 80s music, 80s on 8, Sirius XM, my jam. Do I have any pets? I do. I live in Rand. If you ever want to come visit the pets, they are Beckett, who is 6 years old, and Bellatrix, we call her Trixie, she's 2 years old. And they are relatively friendly by now because the girls in the dorm have been visiting them. So now they're acclimated with, oh, when people come in, we get treats. Okay, we'll let you pet us. I am married to Coach Edwards, 27 years. Yep, girl. My favorite food is chicken and rice with Mexican cheese on top. Yum. I am excited for this year because it's my second year. So my first year I learned a lot of stuff, and now it's my second year, and I feel like I got the leg up now. I can do more fun stuff instead of more procedural stuff. Because the first year I was kind of like, we do things this way, and this is the way we do them. And now I'm like, woo, caution to the wind, let's have some fun. So I feel like it's going to be a fun class. I think it's going to be fun to have class here and interact with people who aren't here. But it's also going to be a challenge because we do have certain rules we have to follow. But I'm also a little bit about bending the rules sometimes. So I think it's going to be a great year. How long have I been teaching geometry? This is my second year of geometry. I've also taught AP Calculus. Ooh, that was fun. And which math is the most important? So I think it's different depending on where you go in life. If you're going to be like an engineer, then you have to know calculus. That's very important. And that's what you should know. If you're going to be, my son works in a warehouse. He went to college and it didn't really suit him. And so he works in a warehouse and he loves it. So he probably needs algebra or something in his daily life. And so I would say probably algebra is what most people would use. If you're going to go into finance, then you need a different kind of math. So it just depends on where you go. But from a geometry perspective, why do you need geometry? Because of the problem solving. You're going to use problem solving forever. And somebody said this to me once. You might not need geometry, but when you fill out your taxes, you're going to need problem solving. And you're going to need to know how to follow the directions, because filling out your taxes is one big problem. Like, read this question. If yes, go here. If no, go there. And then you fill in that number, and then you go get another number from another place and fill it in there. It's like a choose your own adventure book. It's crazy. And you're going to have problems like that at work, no matter what. So I think that's what's important about math, is that it teaches you to think about problems and figure out how to solve them. So let's look at the data. There's the data. So the cool thing about Google Forms is it lets you put it into a spreadsheet. And so we just looked at everybody's responses and what percentages and all that. Hey, come on. But now I can look at just for A period. And here are all your responses. So how many years has everyone been here? Well, we've got a lot of 2 and 3s, but we also have in this class several 4 or 5 years. And then there's Ava. This is her first. We have 2 people that live on campus. There's our, oh, somebody believes it's the work of Satan here. But look, they're gonna ace it. Where everyone was born and raised. Here's all of our oldest and youngest. A lot of people like in English in this class is their favorite subject. A lot of sports from the favorite hobby. Theater, embroidery, everything's on a sport. Most everyone has a pet. There are a couple that don't, but we do have here a bunny named Playboy. Playboy bunny, get it? I thought that was fun. Dog and a cat. Here's someone with 7 dogs. 7 dogs. I'm guessing some of those are outside dogs. 7 dogs in one house block. Couple of cats here. So yeah, only dogs and cats I'm seeing here. So no exotic pets. One of the other ones, one of the other classes had a fish. Was it a turtle? A fish, a turtle, and a shrimp. They actually have a shrimp. Yeah.
I have a parrot.
Dude, I inquired as to your pets. Why would you not? Specific favorite TV. Oh, look, iCarly used to be. SpongeBob. Grey's Anatomy. I have never heard of the umbrella. Oh, American Horror Story. Ooh. I watched the first few seasons of that, and then it just got crazy, and I couldn't handle it. Office. I love scary shows. I watch them like this, though.
Have you watched Haunting on the Hill House? Or did you?
Haunting of Hill House. Did I watch that? Was that a series or a movie?
Series.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
That was a
The
series.
one with the Betnick, was it the Betnick lady?
Yeah, that was a series thing.
Yes, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was a good one. Yes. And then I put all your questions into that post. So I answered all of those. So you can see how using that Google form, it generated this data set. So all of that data goes into this, and I can filter out by each class to see, okay, so we saw what percentage of folks lived on campus, or how many of you have been here for whatever number of years. But then we can go just to your class and see, is it the same for your class versus the whole group of people who answered. So remember that when you see statistics, like in the news, they can tell a different story. When you see statistics for the whole nation, they don't necessarily represent where you live or where you are, because statistics, even for just the 6 classes I taught, didn't line up, right, with what we saw just in our classroom. I just wanted to look that up. All right, so we said we were going to talk about grace. And I don't really have a slide for this one. But you guys did finish your syllabus quiz. And I'm not sure anyone in here had a problem, but I had several students who did not, and I'm gonna come over here. You guys can see. I had several students who did not quite read the instructions well, or said they had a Canvas problem, so did not read the syllabus before they took the quiz. As you can imagine, the grade was not pretty. Or some people read the syllabus, but only read it once, or skimmed it. So first lesson here is Never take a quiz without knowing what you're taking the quiz for. Number two, if it's a quiz and it says it has points, then yes, I am grading it and it's going in the grade book. Number three, if you're not sure why you're taking a quiz, email me or text me before you start, because once you start, you're taking the quiz. In general, when you take a quiz, now you've seen the questions. This is true of a test as well. So the probability that I'm going to let you then go back and look at the material and then take that same quiz again, pretty much zero, right? Because now you've seen all the questions. So am I going to let you go back and look at all the answers and then retake the quiz? Not so much. But I had several emails of people saying they got confused, they didn't understand, they didn't look at the syllabus before they took the test or quiz, or they had a hiccup in Canvas and they couldn't get to the syllabus, so they just took the quiz anyway because they didn't want it to be late. So this is where grace comes in. I'm going to change a few of the questions on the quiz, and I'm going to give everybody a second chance. So you will see some of the same questions, but some of the questions will disappear and be replaced with new questions. So the grade that you saw, and you may have seen an initial grade, then I went in and gave you a point for pledging the quiz. And I gave everyone an extra point for, there was a question that said, when can you get extra help besides extra help time? One of the correct answers was after school. The other correct answer was via text, but I put via text anytime. And I think most of you were like, not anytime, because I'm not texting her at 3 in the morning. I meant to say, I meant that to be, you can text me whenever. If I'm asleep, my phone's off, so it's not going to bother me. I'll answer you in the morning. So I gave everyone a point for that because none of you chose that, which was very nice of you. Thank you. So pretty much whatever score you initially saw, you got 2 more points on top of that. One, Canvas calls a fudge point. Fudge. Okay. Which makes me think of chocolate, but okay. So you got a point for your pledge and a point as a fudge point. Even if you did mark text me anytime, you still got an extra point. So you got 2 more points than what you initially saw. But I am going to go in there. I'm going to delete some questions. I'm going to put in some new questions. And then I'm going to reset it for you to take it a second time. And then Canvas will pick the highest score to record as your grade on the quiz. That is grace. Makes sense? If something like this happens 3 weeks from now or 3 months from now, this is what I do. I don't want the whole class to be like, holy cow, we got really bad grades, something went wrong. If something went wrong in Canvas, then we redo. If something went wrong with my communication or your understanding, then we redo or we do something to fix that. The last thing I want is for you guys to be worried about a quiz grade, especially in the first week of school. Okay, so when something like that happens, we can't be worried about that. The other thing that we often do, and especially in the first quarter, is drop the lowest quiz grade. So we get to the end of the quarter, we just knock off that lowest one anyway, and that always makes your grade go up. All right. That's grace. Yay. Any questions? All right. What was the next thing? I have to peek at the board. Algebra review. Doing anything on that? I don't think so. All right. How am I going to show them what I'm doing now? I'm just going to take a look. Okay, guys, I'm taking you with me. If you will look in your problem book. Does everybody have a device? No. That's okay, I can still, lawyers, I can still display for you guys up there. Okay, we're gonna look in the problem book. On page 1. And I say page 1, but there are several pages at the beginning with Roman numerals. So scroll past those to get to actual page 1.
One.
I'm looking for my copy so I can hold it up and show you. Oh, here it is.
I found page 1.
Yeah, so we have to work down the whole page.
Yeah, it says page 1 at the bottom.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so we're going to be on page 1. Number 3 should say the length of a rectangle. I hope it does.
Yeah.
So guys, I am working from a copy that is a year old, and they may have changed the order. So yeah, for you guys, it's number 4. Online, it's number 4. The length of a rectangle is, do you see that?
Yeah. So the length of the rectangle.
Length of the rectangle is, and the width is.
Okay.
All right, is everybody seeing that? So it's actually, if you look on, if you scroll down, it's like the 8th page down. But if you look at the footer, it's page number 1. No, on your problem book. So this is the problem we're going to work, and we're going to work it in your composition books. Keep scrolling, scrolling. For those of you on phones, it might be easier to see on the overhead. All right, so we're just going to do number 4 in our notebooks. But let's talk it through. It says the length of a rectangle is 3x minus 4, and the width is 2x plus 1. And it wants us to find the perimeter and the area. So this is actually some geometry to start with. It's talking about some vocabulary words, perimeter and area. Do we know the definitions of perimeter and area? Anyone? Yes.
Oh, perimeter is when it's all the sides added up together.
Yes, perimeter is all the sides added up together. Area? Yes. The length and the width multiplied. It's how much space is inside. Yes. So if we want to know the perimeter, and we've got the length and the width, do we just add those two things together? Nope, I see a nope. What do we have to do to find the perimeter if we've got the length and the width? Beatrix? Right, we need two lengths and two widths and then add those together because we have two lengths, two widths. That would give us all the way around the rectangle. So we're going to add 3x plus 4 twice and 2x plus 1 twice. There's where we just hit some algebra.
Isn't it 3x minus 4?
It is. So 2 times 3x minus 4 plus 2 times 2x plus 1. What do we do with those 2's outside the parentheses? Guys, you're too quiet. You need to talk to me.
Yes, I got it right.
Yay. So what did you do with that 2 next to the others?
You mean the area?
For the perimeter, we had to take 2 times 3x minus 4 and 2.
So 6x minus 8 and plus 4x plus 2.
Yes. Do you remember what that's called when we take the 2 times what's inside the parentheses? Anybody? When you take the 2 times what's inside the parentheses? Distributive property, yep, distributing. We have to distribute that 2 over what's inside the parentheses. So 2 times 3x minus 4 becomes 6x minus 8, plus 2 times 2x plus 1 becomes 4x plus 2. Then we combine like terms, so we can add the x's together and add the integers together. What's an integer? Whole number, yep. It can be negative or positive. So what did you guys get when you worked it all out? For perimeter, distribute, combine like terms. (10x minus 6). That's it.
Yes.
The perimeter is 10x minus 6. So you're just, there are just x's in your answer. That's fine. We don't know. If they give us an x, we could calculate the exact number, but we don't know what x is, so that's fine. So now what about the area? We said the area is the two things times each other.
6x squared minus 5x minus 4.
And how did you get that?
Just 3x minus 4 times 2x plus 1.
Right, and what kind of method did you use to multiply those together?
First time is the 3x times 2x and 3x times 3x times 2x equal 6x squared, and then it's 3x times 1, so plus 3x. And next step is negative 4 times 2x, so minus 8x, and then is the negative 4 times 1, so equal to 6x squared minus 5x and minus 4.
Yes. And what do we call that? In the US, we give that a name. What do we call it? Remember? Front, outside, inside, last. Ringing a bell? Foil. Oh, snap, they forgot. So we call that front. So the front two numbers, the 3x and the 2x, that's front. And then inside, we do the 4 and the 2x, that's the inside. And then the outside is 3x and the 1. And then the last is the 3x and the 1. It's not exactly the right order, but it makes a good word. Foil. Front, outside, inside, last. To help us remember not to forget any of those multiplication steps. Foil. So when we've multiplied all that out, we've got 6x squared plus 3x minus 8x, which is minus 5x, minus 4. So it says, what's your definition of a rectangle? What is a rectangle? If you're thinking of a rectangle in your head, what does it look like?
Square.
Yep, a square is a rectangle. It's got 4 sides.
Yes.
Uneven sides. So yeah, 2 of the sides are equal and the other 2 sides are equal, but they don't have to be all equal to each other. If they were all equal to each other, they'd be a square. But if they're not equal to each other, they're a rectangle. What about the right angles? Yeah. In a rectangle, we have to have right angles for all 4. So a 4-sided figure with right angles where opposite sides are equal, but not necessarily all the sides are equal. So a square is a rectangle. because it meets all those criteria. It just so happens that all of its sides are also equal, which makes it a square. Good job. Good job, guys. I had a couple of other problems to do, but we're very close to time. So I just want to say good job to everybody. Yay. Good first real geometry class, you guys. Happy Friday. Actually, don't go anywhere because, yeah, we've got to do chapel. You guys can live stream chapel directly. Do you have that link for chapel? Or do I need to send it to you?
Can you send it to us?
Yes. And Tensho, you've got the problem book, right? I don't need to send that to you.
Okay.
All right, I'll send you the chapel link though.
I feel like Renweb was way better. Renweb.
I asked one of my classes yesterday and they thought so too.
I mean, I guess Ken is better for like online school because you can
Oh,
do
Miss
stuff
Edwards.
and send it.
Yes. Tensho, are you using your web school email address? Or
Yes. I will use my web school email address. I can got your email.
Okay, great.
And I want to ask about my grades.
I just sent you guys the link for chapel, so it's best if you just live stream chapel yourself versus doing it in Zoom.
All right,
Oh,
I
wait
got
a
it.
minute.
Bye, Miss Edwards.
Okay. Tensho, you have a question?
Oh, and Miss Edwards.